Hello guys and welcome to Walking Project. Today we're gonna have a look at the HP Elite X3, the best and most advanced Windows phone ever made, the most expensive as well, which has a military grade 810G specifications against shock, dust, water and whatever, but unfortunately it's not resistant to stupidity. So what I've done basically is I left the phone over here on top of my computer, and because of the vibrations with time, by the time I was setting up my studio over here, so it fell down between the desk and the wardrobe, and it fell straight away on one of those. So you can see for yourself what the result is. Yep, I've got a cracked screen on my military grade phone. So if you have this phone, guys, don't drop it, get a case or something like that. But consider something else in mind. This phone was retailing for £750 here in the UK. Recently, it was discounted to £450 in the official HP store, and now the price is back to £600, £650, something like that. So the purpose of today's video is to let you know, guys, should you spend your hard-earned money on this phone or the Windows is completely dead. So let's go. Okay guys, so today I'm not gonna do an unboxing simply because the box is way too big. It has quite a lot of cables and chargers for this Microsoft Continuum dock. Basically what this thing does is it allows, when you plug your phone into that and you plug it into your computer, to have a full desktop experience from your phone. Basically I find no appeal in that simply because I already have a Windows 10 computer. So to me it makes no sense to turn this device to a computer. But anyway, if you've got a Mac or something like that, probably it's gonna work. But anyway, as I said, the box is way too big. It contains plenty of not very interesting stuff. So let's straight away go to design and build quality. And let me tell you that this device feels amazing in the hand, guys. It's not overly heavy, but still it has some premium heft to it. It's a pretty big phone though. As you can see, compared to the Moto Z, which is a no small phone by any means. It's bigger, it's heavier, so definitely that's a two-hand phone. Now, this grill over here is quite interesting actually at the bottom. It's housing one of the speakers, the other speaker is on top over here. So basically it's made out of plastic. You can't really tell because it's so nicely done, but the only thing is that it doesn't have the cold touch, which I really don't mind, to be honest with you. At the back we've got the flash, we've got the fingerprint reader, we've got the 16 megapixel camera, and because the back is made of plastic, it allows for wireless charging and NFC as well. The HP logo is really nice. It has no texture, but at least it's gonna not go away in time. Now on the side of the phone we've got our volume buttons as well as the power button. I think that they're in the incorrect order because usually when you hold your phone like that, your finger rests on top of the volume buttons instead of a power button, so it's a little bit of stretch to press. And the other thing I don't like about the buttons is that they're a little bit sharp over here, so every time you're taking it out of your pocket there's a chance of something, you know, getting in the way of these buttons. On the left hand side we've got our micro SD SIM card tray, and in my case I've got the dual SIM version, which has a combo slot, which means one SIM and one micro SD card or two SIMs. And the thing I like about this port actually is that you don't need to stab it. All you need is just a little bit of fingernails and you can pull it off like that. That's a very neat solution and I really like that. Now at the top of the phone we've got our 3.5mm jack, kudos for that. And on the bottom is very nice and clean. We only have the USB Type-C connector. At the front we've got our facial recognition sensor, the 8 megapixel camera, that's the second speaker and the earpiece as well. That's an IR sensor over here as well as a bunch of sensors. So let's talk about specifications a little bit. We're dealing with 6-inch Quad HD AMOLED screen, which is absolutely wonderful, guys. We've got the 8 megapixel camera here, 16 megapixel camera here. We've got the dual speaker system. We've got a huge 4200 milliamp hours of battery, Snapdragon 820, 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. Now on paper all of that sounds amazing, but we've got one major problem. which is the Windows operating system. But I'm gonna get to that a little bit later on. Now, first of all, let's have a look at the unlock methods. Now, you've got the fingerprint, you press it, and it vibrates a little bit, letting you know that the screen is unlocked. But it's not very fast though. Check this out. It takes a good 1 second, you know, it vibrates and you know that it's gonna be unlocked, but it takes a little bit of, let's say, about 1 second delay to unlock your screen. Now, the other option of unlocking we've got is this Face ID sensor over here. It's not the fastest one, of course, but let's say it's on par of the Samsung S8. So let me check it out. You power on the phone like that. Check this out. Move closer. Looking for you. Hello. There we go. So let's try this one again. You press the button. Hello. There we go. I mean, it's a convenience. It's a convenience. And I'm really happy that you've got both, you know, options, the fingerprint and the Face ID as well. Now let's have a look at the screen. That's compared with the original Moto Z, which all we know is that it has an amazing screen. So as you can see, it's pretty much on par. The color calibration is just about right. You've got no options to tweak the colors, but at least it's already set up the right way. In terms of brightness, it doesn't get very bright, but of course it's enough because it's an AMOLED screen anyway. So let's have a look at a couple of more wallpapers, guys. As you can see, as I told you already, this screen looks absolutely beautiful. I've got totally no complaints, and kudos to HP for including a very high quality screen. You can't see any kind of tint like the Pixel 2 XL, so I'm really happy about the screen, guys. Excellent job, HP. Now, another thing that I like, which is screen related, is that you can set up Bing to refresh your lock screen wallpaper every single day. They're usually nice, nothing, you know, spectacular, but it's better than nothing. Now let's talk about sound a little bit. The headphone jack is a little bit of an average, to be honest with you. It's nothing spectacular. Again, it's very, very similar to the Moto Z. It definitely gets the job done, but it's not one of the best I've seen. And now let's talk about those speakers a little bit. Now we've got a huge grill here covering one huge speaker, and the other speaker is over here. And what's interesting is that the volume is not like 70% coming from here and 30% from here like most Android phones. It's like probably like 60 to 40 or even 55 to 45%. They're more or less equal, guys. Let me show you what I'm talking about, and let's do a quick comparison between this one and the HTC U Ultra. I prefer this one, to be honest with you. The sound is very nice and clear, but yeah, let's see. Okay guys, so what about the cameras? 16 megapixel rear camera, and I could say that in low light this camera sucks. Because the aperture is f2.2, it doesn't have too much lighting coming into the sensor. And again, low light is pretty bad, but once you have good lighting, you can get some amazing shots out of this camera, of course with the HDR on. That's one of the best HDR implementations of any phone that I've used, by the way, and some of the pictures are truly amazing. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now let's have a quick look at the video. At 4K you have totally no stabilization, what I see. Okay, you've got some digital one, but the job is not very good. Let's check this one as well. Hello guys, and welcome to Walking Project. Let's do a quick test of the HP Elite X3 filming a 4K video. Let me just go around like that. And as always, I'm more interested to see how the stabilization works. There's supposed to be a digital stabilization for 4K, but let's see. Let's see what we have here. Let's do a short sprint. Yes, that's about it. And let's just test the autofocus quickly. Yeah, the autofocus seems fine. Okay. And now what about the selfie cam? 8 megapixels sounds excellent on paper, but unfortunately the results are pretty much terrible, guys. Let me show a couple of examples. Now there's an annoying bug that I found about the cameras, guys, and when you press the power button basically, and let's say you're trying to take a quick photo of something, you hold up the camera button over here and you just take the photo, right? Then you switch off the screen, you're done for now, but after that you remember that you need to take another photo. So basically you switch on the camera again, you hold it up again, and let's see what do we have. Something went wrong. If you need it, please call the error code. So basically I've done at least 3 updates on this phone already, and this is a bug which is, you know, super easy to fix. That's basically the camera application crashing for some reason, but they still haven't fixed it. And the worst thing is that you say, okay, let's go back then to the home screen, and now your fingerprint reader doesn't work. Check this out. See? You can't really unlock your screen after that. So basically you gotta switch it off and then switch it back on, and now you can unlock your screen, which is a little bit ridiculous, but anyway. Now let's talk about battery life and recharge time, guys. I'm very happy to report that the phone charges quite quickly. For half an hour I'm getting 28% of battery, and for about 2 hours I'm getting full charge. Considering the huge battery capacity, that's a very good result. What is not very good is the battery life itself. It's not only that there is no way in the operational system that I can actually check my screen on time, and there are totally no third-party applications which are going to allow me to check that. But from my experience, I haven't really, you know, calculated this scientifically, but it's somewhere in the range of 4 to 4.5 hours, which is a shame because for battery that big, you're supposed to get at least 6 hours of battery life out of this phone. But I guess, you know, I'm gonna blame it on the OS again, guys. Now, you know, I'm not a benchmark junkie, but I always open up Basemark to see what is gonna tell me about the phone, and the results are crazy. Basically, you've got Snapdragon 820, but this thing seemed quite odd. Graphics 4000, basically better than on any phone, and I was like, wait a minute, let's see what we're talking about. And when I press device info, for whatever reason, this application runs on 720p resolution only, guys, which is strange, because basically you've got no proper benchmark applications to tell you what the performance is. But the problem is that it's not very good. I mean, Snapdragon 820, this phone should have been a lot faster, especially with 4 gigs of RAM. It should have been flying. Now, I'm not new to the mobile Windows, you know, operating system. 5 years ago, I used the LG Jill Sander, I've used the HTC Radar, and I've used the HTC Windows Phone 8s, which were both brilliant. I really enjoyed using them, and I'm really sad to see that for 5 years, Microsoft actually has gone back in terms of performance and overall stability. Because back in the day, 5 years ago, there was no lag. It was, you know, effortless to use the Windows Phone. Of course, I wasn't, you know, bound to all these Google applications, but unfortunately nowadays, well, I've got YouTube, I've got a channel, I rely on, you know, Google Maps, on all of these services, and unfortunately on the Windows Phone your only option is on the Edge browser. You can use their desktop versions. Unfortunately, that's not very nice, because basically you need standalone applications. You gotta use Twitter on the mobile version. I'm not sure if there is an application, but for most, you know, basically for all of those Google services like Maps, Gmail, Keep, YouTube, and everything like that, you've got no proper application alternatives. Basically, you've got one app called Perfect Tube, which allows you to sync your YouTube account with it. But check this out. There is a very annoying ad over here, and the overall app is not very nice. You gotta pay basically to get something that you have for free on Android. It doesn't make sense. And the other example is, check this out. For example, Which one? Hot UK Deals. That's an application I use on an everyday basis. And this one, I've downloaded it directly through the Windows Store. So you press it, it opens, and you press mobiles, and let's see, it kicks you out. Basically, it doesn't really work. And the problem is that out of the box, check how many applications do I have. Okay, Asphalt Extreme, I've downloaded this application in Basemark. Check this out. How many applications they managed to install, guys. That's way too much. Way too much in my opinion. And the thing is that the phone is not very fast. I mean, check this out. There is a delay on no matter what you do. And basically, I really don't like that. Check this out, Twitter. What's happening over here? You have to, I mean, this Edge browser is not good, and you don't have any, good alternatives to the browser overall. Now, the tiles are a little bit boring. They're the same as they were 5 years ago, basically. And it's good that I've downloaded this wallpaper here, so I managed to tweak them a little bit. You can resize each one of them, for example, the camera. You can unpin it if you like. This Edge browser, you can make it smaller or bigger, which is nice, but it just feels that it's not kind of enough. It doesn't feel as advanced as the Android, even as the iOS, which I had to say, by the way. And the biggest issue is that the very limited application and games that you have run absolutely terribly on a Snapdragon 820 device. Now let me show you what I'm talking about. We're gonna test the Asphalt Extreme. Now the problem with this application is that the version of this application is from February 2017, guys, and the version I have on the Android phone is from November 2017. So basically I've got no idea. Wait. I've got no idea why they're not updating their applications, guys. But let me quickly do a quick comparison between both devices running Snapdragon 820, and let's check this out, what a difference we have in the performance. Okay guys, so let's see how both of these perform on the same track, Ancient Relics. So let's start both of them. I'm not gonna touch anything, so I'm gonna just let it run so you can see what kind of difference do we have in terms of performance, guys. So check this out, this one this one loaded way faster, but let me start both of them. The sound is coming out from the HP, by the way. Okay, I'm gonna pause this so you can equalize them. Okay, they're more or less equal at the moment. So have a look at the lock factor, guys. At the moment it feels kind of okay on both phones. But let's see what's happening over here on the HP. And have in mind that this phone is cold at the moment. When it gets hot, you've got an instant, frame drops. And over here you can see the lag. Can you see the lag on the HP? It's pretty bad. Check it out. I would say that it's so bad that it's almost unplayable, basically. So, yeah. Check this out, guys. Check the lag. Especially when you're outside of the track. It's getting pretty much unbearable. Now it's okay, but let's see. Over here, it starts to go bad, especially when you have other cars. Check this out. That's probably 20 FPS or something like that. That's pretty bad, guys. So I'm gonna stop both of them over here. This phone heats up quite a lot, the Moto Z, and it's barely warm over here. And the HP, it's already hot. Over here it's already hot, guys. So unfortunately, in terms of gaming, this is absolutely not a gaming phone, guys. And although you don't have many games in the Windows App Store, the smaller amount of games you have, they're still not yet optimized. So basically, that's my biggest problem of this phone, guys. The lack of applications, and unfortunately that ruins the whole experience. So let's just jump to the conclusion now. So let's wrap this up, guys. The HP Elite X3 is gonna remain in history as the most advanced and most expensive Windows phone ever made. Unfortunately, that's where it's gonna stay, simply because the price of £750 is absolutely outrageous for this phone. It was recently discounted to $450, which is way too high as well. I personally bought my one refurbished from the US for about £300, which I thought is a good price, but I was really surprised how behind the Microsoft operating system is. I thought that these 5 years they're gonna make huge progress, but no, actually they somehow managed to ruin the whole, lightweight experience that I used to have with my previous Windows phones. It's very interesting that in 2015 there was a project Astoria. Basically you could sideload Android applications, which is very similar of how you can sideload applications on the BlackBerry 10 system. I mean, it's not the best, the compatibility is not very good, but at least you can run your favorite applications. So basically Microsoft did something similar, but they couldn't, agree with Google in terms of, well, money. Let's face it, guys. It was all about the money and the advertisements and all of that. So basically they scrapped the project, and I could have really enjoyed this phone more if I can download my favorite applications, or at least the applications that I use on everyday basis. But unfortunately I can't, guys. So basically that's where I'm gonna leave it, guys. Basically, don't buy this phone and don't rely on these certifications, military grades or something like that, because one small drop and you see what I've done to this phone. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Adios. Now, at the bottom of this phone, bloody hell, there's the military grade spec.